big help to us. And saw a big change lately. Both
Yeah.
of us, right? Both have learned.
He was really good though. So yeah, we missed him.
Yeah.
How bud? So we'll start first with just like any general questions that maybe the video didn't like clarify for you, or like maybe you didn't pick up.
No, I think the biggest thing was, the biggest concern I had more recently is the jumping and
Okay.
I don't want to overuse the button or underuse it, so just making
Sure.
sure I'm doing it appropriately
Okay.
when we're all out.
Sure. So when it comes to using the button,
Yeah.
I'm very liberal.
Uh-huh.
I'm very like, you get a button, everybody
Okay.
gets a button, right?
Okay.
So dogs, in their world, if he does something that they don't like,
Yeah.
they would nip or bite it up.
Right.
To correct them and say, don't do that.
Right.
Whereas with humans, because we have language, and you might say off or down, the thing is, dogs don't do that to each other.
Right.
It's like, if you jump on me, I'm going to bite you.
Right.
So then he just learns, I don't jump on you because you will bite me, but maybe another dog doesn't.
Uh-huh.
And then he learns he can get away with that behavior from that dog.
Okay.
Right? So dogs do learn by association,
Okay.
much like kids do.
Yeah.
So me, growing up, I knew when I was with my grandma, I could get away with more stuff.
Right.
But when I was with my mom, couldn't.
Right.
So dogs have a learning capacity of a 3 to 4 year old child,
Uh-huh.
and that's that learning. That's
Okay.
So look
Yeah.
at him as a 3 to 4 year old child, okay? He would never, he's not going to mature and become an 18-year-old, a 21-year-old, or anything like that. He's
Yeah.
forever a 3 to 4 year old child, okay? So I know there's a big thought process in the world of like, the dog should know better.
Uh-huh.
And the answer is no, they don't, because our laws and what's acceptable and things like that isn't the same in their world.
Uh-huh.
And I just got off a call with a lady whose dog had, nipped at a couple of people.
Yeah.
And I'm like, all those bites were technically valid bites in the dog's mind,
Right.
but in the human world, not acceptable.
Okay.
And that's where things get a little tricky.
Okay.
So in this case with the jumping, this is a very simple concept,
Mhm.
but one that makes a big difference, okay?
Mhm.
So most people, dog jumps off or
Yeah.
down,
Yeah.
right? If you say off and then use the remote, you're creating what we call a cued behavior.
Okay.
So the way a dog brain works is, you technically have to say off in order for him to stop,
Uh-huh.
but unless you do so, he can still jump,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
He's not like a human where you can teach a kid, hey, you don't take things that aren't yours,
Right.
and they just naturally don't take things,
Right.
They just know that, they process that foresight of there will be consequence, right?
Uh-huh.
Not for dogs.
Okay.
So people kind of think, well, if I tell him off, the dog should learn not to ever jump. And I go, no, he'll learn not to jump after you've said the word off.
Uh-huh.
So what we do is we simply apply consequence
Okay.
the moment he does the behavior.
Uh-huh.
So that he thinks, if I jump, there is no warning, I just get corrected.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So it's a super tiny detail, but it
Okay.
makes a big
It does-
difference.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not opposed to saying off and stuff, because you're not always going to have the remote on you, right? Because
Uh-huh.
now he's going to be collared up.
Yeah.
So like maybe, in the setting where like you're home or whatever, he
Mhm.
jumps and you say no off, because that's all you have,
Mhm.
okay? Is I would use simply the button.
Okay.
So like I saw you approaching stuff, right? He was
Yeah.
very excited to see you.
Yeah.
And then I saw you jumping to no sit.
Yeah.
That's another very common thing,
Uh-huh.
is you're trying to dress Bailey from jumping,
Yeah.
so you're using obedience,
Yeah.
right? Which technically is an approach.
Uh-huh.
It's what we would call a preventative approach,
Okay.
right? So the most common thought process is if Bailey is sitting, Bailey cannot jump.
Yeah.
That is very true, especially if you've done remote work and he really respects that sit.
Yeah.
He's going to go, okay, I know I can't break this position because I know there's consequence.
Right.
But it doesn't address him jumping. He's
Okay.
just contained.
Okay.
He's here going, well, I can't jump on you because if I get up, I'm going to get remoted.
Right.
But it's for the getting up, not for the jumping.
Okay.
So then what I would have done is
Yeah.
I would have took the approach,
Uh-huh.
and when he jumped towards you, I would have tapped him
Okay.
to settle him down,
Okay.
and then I would have pet him.
Okay.
Because the issue isn't the jumping. The issue is he's excited.
Right.
And he's missed you because it's been a couple of
Right.
days. Okay? So what you're teaching him is, like,
Okay.
hey buddy, I know you've seen me, you haven't seen me in a bit, but you have to be more mindful of your behavior.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying him being excited is bad.
Yeah.
He missed you.
Yeah.
But it's just I don't want jumping as a result of it.
Right,
Right? So
yeah.
you're still gonna get the tail wag, you're
Yeah.
still gonna get the
Oh,
happy
that's
energy, but you're just not gonna get that jumping
Yeah.
response.
That's what we got.
So
Okay.
the other thing is, like, let's say you come home from work,
Uh-huh.
and it's been a long day, and Bailey's like excited to see you or
Yeah.
something, right? Now it's like I come home from work, I don't have any tools on me. How do I stop this behavior now,
Uh-huh.
right? Is I use, so again, dogs will bite each other if Bailey did something they didn't
Yeah.
like. Is if I come in and Bailey charges and jumps at
Yeah.
me, then I would use my knee
Okay.
to give that physicality back,
Okay.
but I plant myself.
Okay.
People tend to do the back away thing, right? They're like, no, off,
Yeah.
but you're giving up your space.
That is what I do.
Yes.
Now that I think
So
about
it doesn't teach him to not
Right.
jump off.
Okay.
You just remove his paws when moving backwards.
Okay.
Right? So there's no real consequence there. What I do is I anchor myself.
Okay.
The dog comes and I go boom, right when he jumps on me.
Okay.
Then I wait. And then if he's settled, then I walk in, I ignore him.
Okay.
Because then if I go straight to pet him afterwards, I'm just going to trigger more energy.
Right.
So my dogs, when I walk in, they're happy to see me.
Yeah.
Their tails are wagging.
Yeah.
And I walk through, the paws on the ground, they don't jump. They sniff as I walk through because they're like, where have you been? We smell a lot of dogs, right? It's all perfectly fine. And then I'll sit down and go like, okay, come here. And then I pet everybody on my terms. But I've done the same thing with them, you know, years ago when they were puppies.
Yeah.
But when I came in, they're jumping and I go, nope, boom, and I do a physical correction.
Uh-huh.
And you might get it where he'll flip and he bobs his head and stuff. It's okay. Dogs do it all the time during play.
Right.
Okay. So
Okay.
we're not, you know, karate kicking him or whatever, but you want to do a firm enough bump that he takes it and he'll, ooh.
I can't that way. Yeah.
Yeah. It's just like you're biting him, okay?
Okay.
And I,
Okay.
the biggest thing with this stuff is that people are like, well, Jesse, you know, the physicality, what makes it discipline and not abuse. I'm like, well, where are you coming from? If he's not jumping on me, I'm not beating him.
Right.
Right?
Right.
And dogs bite each other.
Right.
Like they self-regulate. So I was like, I'm not coming home and just, you know, doing this for no reason for the dog. It's if as long as he doesn't jump on me, we're cool.
Uh-huh.
No issues.
Yeah.
Okay?
I like it.
Other questions?
Those are kind of the biggest ones. I watched the video that you had on your page of one of the dogs where the owner came home
Mm-hmm.
and he didn't jump on her at all or anything until she said it was okay. I think it was Robin, is that one?
Oh, sure. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, I was wanting to learn a little bit more about that. And
Okay, cool. So so with jumping,
yeah,
it's more so you're against it when he's not invited.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So the best way, in my opinion, is whenever Bailey jumps on you on his terms, you apply the correction
Okay,
or the remote.
okay, all right,
It's not like, and when it comes to remote, so like let's say I come home, Bailey jumps on me.
yeah,
Let's say he happens to remote it, you walked out planning on doing this exercise.
yeah,
You're at 10, right?
uh-huh,
I let Bailey jump on me, I don't do anything,
Yeah.
and I start tapping on 10.
uh-huh,
No response, 15,
okay,
20,
yeah, okay,
25, right? I keep escalating
uh-huh,
until Bailey removes his paws.
Okay.
He needs to do it. People like push the dog off when they do this.
okay,
You're doing the work.
okay,
I need to find the number that Bailey goes, me putting my paws on you isn't good. I'm going to remove
Okay.
them. And then I wait a moment. Then I walk through, because sometimes the walking through triggers more energy.
yeah,
He jumps, you start remoting at that number you're at,
Yeah.
25, whatever.
okay,
He puts his paws down and continue moving.
okay,
So then he goes, oh wow, like when I do this, this happens.
yeah,
And then when you're done, like maybe you're in your home clothes, whatever, you turn around, hey Bailey, up.
uh-huh,
You cue him to then jump on you
yeah,
so that you can give him the affection. That's
Okay.
fine. I have no
Okay.
problem with it.
okay,
It's when the dog does it on their own terms.
yeah,
Because you could be walking home with hot soup
right,
and he doesn't know it.
Right.
He just thinks I always greet you by jumping on you. And on that particular day, it's not a good day to do so.
Right.
Okay? Or with other people.
it's because it jumps on other people, the dog bark
Sure.
a lot.
Sure. So then what we would do there is preventative measures.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so you got the collar on,
Mhm.
you see Bailey running around, and like let's say he gets a look, or if you know,
I can tell when
guaranteed,
he's about to.
you would tap the
Mhm.
moment you see him thinking about
Okay.
it. Okay?
Okay,
And it'd be the same process, 10, 15,
Okay.
20, 25, and then,
Okay.
oh. And what you would see is you probably feel the remote,
uh-huh,
and then like go to playing with it.
okay,
He'll just shift gears.
okay,
He may return to you,
okay,
because he might be thinking, was that a recall?
yeah,
Don't praise him.
okay,
Because it wasn't for someone called, it
Okay.
was for don't jump on that person.
okay,
So if you tap him and he runs to you, he's thinking, oh, you called me. So if you praise him, he thinks that that's what I was for.
I see,
So the difference here is, the most common thing that I see with people is like, let's say their dog tap, there you go, is when they bark out the window,
uh-huh,
they'll call the dog,
uh-huh,
right? And then they'll complain that the dog goes back to barking at the window.
mhm,
And they go, yeah, because you called them, they return, but nothing said, don't bark out the window.
oh, okay, that's another thing we gotta work on too.
Yes, so you would just, again, add
And
consequence,
that's what we do, basically.
okay? Yes, because there's obedience behavior.
Yeah,
Obedience is, get over here, he goes, okay, did it, are you done? Because I'm gonna go bark out that window,
Yes.
okay? So then it would just be, don't do that.
Yeah.
And that's where consequence comes into play.
Okay.
And I'm gonna send you some more videos.
okay,
So, because again, you're not always gonna have the e-collar,
right,
but you can have a means of correcting him,
uh-huh,
so that he learns from barking out the window something you don't want.
uh-huh,
Now, dogs do learn in context, so don't feel like if you correct his barking, you're going to kill security. Like, you know, he'll still bark when someone knocks at the window and all that stuff.
Okay.
Or knocks at the door.
Yeah.
It's really like, let's say, you know, you check the window and you're like, I don't need you to bark at dogs walking by.
Yeah.
Or I don't need you to bark at kids running around.
Yeah.
You can correct for that, but maybe let him bark at like adults.
Okay.
Because you're like, right?
Okay.
Dogs can differentiate.
Okay.
But it requires you to be, it's a little bit more nuanced, because then you have to check and then address.
Okay.
Or it's just, I know I don't ever need you to bark out the window because I live on like the 20th floor.
Right.
Then you would just correct it because there's, you know, people aren't going to climb 20 feet to break into your home, right?
Okay.
The front door would be an issue because that's where people enter.
Yeah.
But that's where he would, you know, so his security there, like you don't want to kill that.
Right.
Right? It's like, okay, I want people to know I have a dog.
Right.
But he won't think, if I can't bark out the window, maybe I can't bark at the door. He'll just think, I can't bark at the window.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So yeah, so you can really fine tune the behaviors however you like. It's just knowing what your rules are going to be.
Okay.
Okay?
Or like, I don't care if, I guess, yeah, if he barks at the door, but every time, say if we get something delivered, he'll bark and then he'll chase the cats and like bark at them. That's the part I need to stop.
Sure.
So yeah, he like, for some reason, like, I don't know if it's because he thinks we're getting food delivered, he doesn't want them to have any, but he'll bark at the door and then chase the cats until they hide to get away and then come back and bark at the door some more.
Okay. So let's do this. Let's do some, is there any other behavior stuff?
No.
That was it?
We've like worked a lot on recall and stuff, but
Okay.
I mean, we can refresh and do then whatever you wanted to do.
Let's do some obedience stuff
Yeah.
because that's in-person stuff.
Yeah.
And then let's set up a Zoom
Uh-huh.
for these behavior
Okay,
things
okay.
because they're super simple.
Okay.
And I don't want you to waste, you know, your time here in Chicago with stuff we can do over the internet.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good.
But yeah, so let's just start thinking this time, now, like going forward, like,
Yeah.
do I want Bailey to do this? If the
Uh-huh.
answer is no, you can simply remote it
Okay.
or correct it to
Okay.
stop it.
Okay.
If you want to control it, then that's like the off. You know,
Yeah,
'cause if you
yeah.
told Bailey up and you told him to jump up,
Yeah.
it would be unfair to remote him out
Right.
of nowhere, so
Right.
we say the word off.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Questions?
No, that sounds good.
So let me have you just show me like your heel and all that stuff,
Okay.
so I can take a look at it, see if there's anything we need to
Okay.
change up or anything, okay?
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Bailey, wait. Bailey, come. Bailey, come. Sit. Sit.
Tap, good. Go ahead and put him in a heel.
We don't do the heel a ton.
Okay, so.
Okay, I guess we've worked on like common recall, but we haven't really worked on.
Okay, do you, is it because you're not sure how it works, or is it,
Yeah, I think I was like using it interchangeably, to be honest, with
okay.
common.
Do you know what heel means?
I assumed, no, actually, I was using it as like common.
As a recall, okay,
Yeah,
cool.
as a recall.
Some people do teach it like that.
Okay.
So come would be what you just did here,
Yeah.
okay? Tap. There you go. Because once you've told him to put that butt down,
Yeah.
he's supposed to keep that butt
Okay.
down, okay? So heel is what you, and actually the heel can help fix a lot of the problems you're dealing with because it allows you to practice structure on a regular basis because people have to walk their dogs, right?
Yeah.
So your dog becomes what you allow them to practice.
Okay.
So if it's I walk Bailey and he's all over the place,
Yeah.
you get a dog that's all over the place. Okay. If you practice I walk my dog, he's at my side, he's calm and he's being disciplined,
Yeah.
you get a calm, disciplined dog. Okay. So let me go ahead and have you pick up your leash here. And I believe we taught Haley on the left because that's the traditional. Okay. And go ahead and give a tap here.
Sit.
Good. And so heel, when you walk Bailey normally,
Yeah.
what does that look like? Like, let's say you take him out and it's kind of like he's doing this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
That's exactly it.
the reason for the heel is one is to prevent pulling.
Okay.
Okay. So most people go by this. That's very popular now. Loose leash walking.
Yeah.
Okay. Where it's my dog, isn't under strict command, but they're just walking with me, but they're not pulling me.
Yeah.
And it's created this notion that, because it's a gray area, in my book, the dog is either pulling or not pulling. Okay? So if I'm on they're on their own time and there's no command,
Yeah.
and the dog is free to do as they please, they're typically pulling because they want to smell this, they want to smell that,
Yeah.
they want to pee on that, they want to greet that person.
Yeah.
So it's usually a lot of this.
Yeah.
Every now and then someone will get a personality type who is so passive and like could care less about anything,
Yeah.
is that they walk on a loose leash, but they don't care. There's no tension.
Right.
Because there's nothing getting their attention.
Okay.
For a dog like Bailey,
Yeah.
from what I remember of him, very attentive on like everything that's
Yeah.
going on, right?
Yeah.
So the heel is kind of clocking him in and
Okay.
telling him like, hey buddy, now you're working.
Okay.
And your job at the moment is to walk at my side without pulling and
Okay.
to automatically sit when I stop. Okay?
Okay.
So like if you're walking from your home to the dog park
Yeah.
and he pulls you there because
Yeah.
he knows the path,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
I go, man, I really wish my dog wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
That's where heel comes into play. Because
Okay.
if you don't say anything, technically he's free.
Yeah.
He can do whatever he wants to do.
Okay.
Okay? So like right now I'm on the clock.
Yeah.
You know, you paid for my time.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm teaching you.
Yeah.
I'm not on my phone. I'm not smoking a cigarette. I'm not having a beer.
Right.
I'm working.
Uh-huh.
So think of your obedience as
Okay.
working for Bailey.
Okay.
So heel is the, hey, we're going for a walk from
Okay.
here to over there.
Yeah.
You're not going to pull. You're going to be right here.
Okay.
And when I stop, you're going to automatically sit.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a package of things.
Okay.
So heel means walk with me, stay with
Okay.
me, sit when I stop.
Okay.
When you said I used it interchangeably as
Yeah.
a recall,
Yeah.
okay, some people do that where
Okay.
heel means come to the healing side.
Yeah.
Okay? I teach that differently.
Okay.
You would only use the come when called command there.
Okay.
I would be very mindful of doing a stay or wait and then a come when called, because what can happen is he will prematurely run to you,
Okay.
expecting you're going to call him.
Okay.
So then it creates a problem, because then every time you turn around, Bailey's already running towards
Right.
you.
Yeah.
And if I want him to stay and not move,
Yeah.
it creates that issue.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, and also it's not realistic in the sense of, you know, when you need Bailey to return, it's
Yeah.
because he's doing something he shouldn't,
Right.
or running away or chasing something.
Yeah.
So it's mostly in a away motion that people are doing the recall from.
Okay.
So we'll first start with the heel, and then I'll show you like how I would start to practice that stuff on a more
Okay.
realistic fashion. Okay?
Okay.
So how you're holding the leash here is pretty good. I'm gonna have you shorten it not shorten, give a little bit more slack, about
Okay.
right, a little bit more, there, good.
Okay.
So when you walk with Bailey, see how he's positioned? He's a little bit angled,
Yeah.
but his right shoulder should be parallel with your left leg.
Okay.
Okay, so this isn't bad for now.
Okay.
The way you have the leash here, where that, you see the bottom of the loop,
Yeah.
right? That little
This
J,
here.
yeah, on the bottom part, is by his armpit, right? That's like the perfect length.
Okay.
Because it's loose enough that it gives Bailey the opportunity to make mistakes, but not too loose that he can step over it,
Okay.
and then it gets tangled in the dog.
Yeah, okay.
So the reason why I say to do this is because if you're walking with Bailey, you've issued the heel, and he's right next to you like that, and there's complete slack. What does that tell you?
But he's not, he can run away, but he's not, he's staying there.
Right, so he's adhering to the command,
Yeah.
right? He has the opportunity to, but he knows or has associated when I hear the word heel, I lock
Okay.
in here and I don't go anywhere else, right?
Okay.
So most people tend to take the slack,
Yeah.
okay? And they'll say, and I've heard it, Jesse, my dog walks well on the leash, and they go, show me. And the owner's like this. I'm like, well, as soon as you let that leash go, your dog is gone, right?
Yeah.
So I want to see if I have a nice slack leash, where is the dog? And if the
Okay.
dog's ahead of me, then that tells me I either not done the correct
Okay.
training, but almost always the simple answer is the owner is not high enough on the e-collar.
Okay.
So we'll talk about all that stuff too. 'Cause
Okay.
right now he's fairly low,
Yeah.
but unfortunately due to the rain, we're inside, otherwise we would
Yeah.
have been outside in
Yeah.
a more distracting environment.
Right.
So
Okay.
when we cue the word heel, heel then turns everything on.
Okay.
At that moment, Bailey is expected to be here.
Okay.
Now, if Bailey gets ahead of you,
Yeah.
do you know how you would correct that? And
Heel. Stop.
nope.
Heel, push our button. Like keep nicking until he comes back to me?
Close.
Or
You
he stops and comes to me?
close. What you would do,
Uh-huh.
okay? Because what you're doing is you're walking right. Bailey gets ahead of you. If you remote him, he comes back here. But this is a forever problem. Is when you tap him and you continue to tap him, you actually turn the other way, this way,
Oh, okay.
to redirect Bailey here.
Okay.
Okay, so So let's say you're going from point A to point B.
Yeah.
I'm gonna walk this way, right? I have to walk this way. Bailey gets ahead, I turn, I remote him. He comes back, but then I gotta go back that way. You would simply just turn again. But now Bailey should be lined up next to you.
Close. Okay.
Okay? So it's turn and tap, and you actually don't need to repeat the command.
Okay.
You just turn and tap.
Okay.
Now the biggest factor here is right now you're working at 10, and it's doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Out in the real world, you might be like at 35 or something.
Yeah.
Because you have to compensate for the environment.
Right.
Yep. Right there. Because
and we've had to do that at the dog park with recall.
Sure.
Like go up.
Go up higher?
Yeah.
Okay. So then the next thing would be like, let's say at the dog park, you always end up going to like 35, 45 before Bailey listens.
Yeah.
Then I would just go to the dog park and already be at 35, 45,
okay.
right?
Yeah.
So we do lower in the beginning because you're doing research.
Yeah.
You're going, how much do you need here to do what you're supposed to do, right? So if you're at 10 and you always go to 35, then I would say,
just go to
safe to assume, 35.
Yeah.
Because he will ignore you until you hit 35, but then he also learns that he has a window before 35 happens. And I want Bailey come to be instantaneous, right? So almost always when my clients are struggling with something from their dog, it's because they're too low. Okay? So yeah, so you've obviously had plenty of time to like practice this stuff, right? What's the highest you've had to go for Bailey?
I think at the park that's not like an official dog park, I've had to go up to like 45. When there was like squirrels, other dogs, like food.
Sure. And
that was to get him to come to recall to come back.
Okay. And then would you, has there been like a consistently higher number that wasn't 45? Because that was the highest you've ever been, right?
Yeah.
What's your what number do you typically find yourself going to get Bailey to return most of the time?
I guess it is in like the low 30s.
Low 30s?
Yeah,
okay,
somewhere
cool.
over there.
So what I would do is I go to dog park, I'm at 35.
Okay.
And so this way when I call Bailey, it's an immediate return.
Okay, so I'm not like inching up each time.
Correct,
okay.
Right? Because now you also want to think, you want to create consistency, and what you're applying in life becomes what he ends up doing. So like I said, he'll learn that window, and he'll learn, I have 3 minutes from 10 to 35 to do what I want. But now we want it to be, you have a split second before you get remoted, and you have to comply. Okay. And I always put things in a realistic context, because obviously at the dog park, if it's enclosed or whatever, there's no real risk, right? Unless like a dog fight breaks out. But anytime anybody has ever come to me and said, Jesse, I'm so grateful for the training, has been crazy scenarios. I just had one with a client where the dog took off charging after, he's not aggressive, but a kid spooked him, out at the park, and he just charged up, started barking at him, and she panicked, and she's like, afterwards, she chased the dog down, but she's like, afterwards, she's like, I was thinking about it, I should have used the remote instead of chasing my dog, and I said, that is correct, right? But now that she knows that, because almost everybody, the first time their dog runs away, chases their dog, right? And I'll tell them, why don't you just use a remote? It's because they panic, right? So you're just getting used to using your remote, but also adjusting it on the fly. Because I had another client who, so I usually teach recall by the third class when I do it in person. And after her second class, before the third class, the dog ran off. And I saw her back, she's like, Jesse, I have to go to 127. And I know we haven't done a recall, but he was running towards the street. And I was like, do I gamble him going to the street, or do I gamble potentially bringing him back and avoiding that? And I said, no, that's correct. We haven't taught it, but if it's get back over here, or you get hit by a car, you gamble to get back over here.
And I have done that too. He's been better actually since we moved, but at our old dog park here, he was getting in fights a lot. If certain dogs would trigger him, and he'd get really possessive over a ball, and then get really aggressive. And so there's one or two times at our dog park, I saw that happening, and I went really high just to get his attention and get him to stop.
So that's something we can cover in the Zoom as well, because that would be preventative. So if I know Bailey becomes possessive over balls in the dog park, I don't even let him have balls. To make your life easy. He's not going to care thinking I went to the park and mom didn't let me play with balls. He doesn't care.
If he steals other dogs' toys,
you can stop that as well.
Gets possessive over them.
You can stop that as well. Yep, you can stop all that stuff. So just like with the jumping, right? You see the thought process. When you see him look at a dog with a ball in his mouth, he's like, hey, I'm going to steal that. You correct right there. Okay. And then you won't even have to go as high because the intensity isn't there now.
Right.
You know, you might be able to stop that on a 25 as opposed to like an 85.
Right.
Because you're catching it early on.
Okay.
And I just make it a rule. You know, if he can't go to the dog park and learn, you know, to share, then he can't have access to those things.
Right.
But he'll still play.
Right.
You know, like when he was here, he plays.
Yeah.
You know, but we keep balls out intentionally because we have resource guarders, right?
Yeah.
So it's the same thing for him. Obviously, people bring their own balls and stuff.
Right.
So then it's like, okay, bud, if you're gonna enjoy the dog park, then you can't steal balls because you become a jerk afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So again, something we can review on the Zoom if needed. So what we're gonna do here is you're gonna cue the word heel. Heel is gonna turn everything on.
Okay.
Okay. So technically, if you say nothing, Bailey can do all this nonsense.
Okay.
You're gonna cue the word heel, and then if you can remember, you always want to move forward with your left leg first.
Okay.
Because Bailey should always be on your left side when you
Okay.
walk. That's traditional. That's how we train him.
Okay.
So if you try to flip it, he'll get really confused.
Okay.
So go ahead and just say heel, and then start walking with your left leg forward.
Heel.
So right now, Bailey's job after being given that cue is to walk at your side. And if you look at his right shoulder here, keep forward, tap, tap. There we go. Keep moving. You see how he's walking right there at your side?
Yeah.
That is traditional heel position.
Okay.
Okay? Go ahead and you're going to make a slow turn to your right. That's good. And you're going to slow down some more. And then come to a stop. There. And see how he automatically sits? So here, you're walking.
Yeah.
Cue heel. Heel now means keep that right shoulder to my left leg. Okay?
Okay.
And you can see him doing this.
Yeah.
Right?
I could feel him like trying to come in front of me almost.
Yes. So here, because most likely with the pen area, he's likely already to go over there.
Yeah.
Is you technically could have turned and tapped them to bring
Okay.
them back.
Okay.
And we're going to talk about raising your number as well.
Okay.
Let's go to like, Enrique, what's been his general number?
Like 10.
10?
10 to 15.
What about outside?
Outside was more like 20s.
20s?
Yeah, 10 higher.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and go to 15. We're going to go in the middle.
Okay.
So right now, as you're walking, I'm going to tell you to turn.
Okay.
When I tell you to turn, I want you to do 180 like this to your immediate right.
Okay.
So if I say turn, you're just doing this.
Okay.
There's nothing about turn. Okay.
Okay.
Turn, just like this.
Okay.
When I tell you to do that, you're also going to go tap, tap, tap.
Okay.
So bring it here.
Okay.
We're going to look for that shift in his focus.
Okay.
Okay. To see what difference do we see.
Okay.
So it should go from forging to
Yeah.
here now.
Okay.
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 Because people tend to think, well, the dog's doing well. I'm like, yeah, the dog's doing well with walking in position.
Yeah.
But they're clearly wanting to get out of position. So we
Right.
want to correct that before it becomes a problem.
Okay.
Okay? So you're going to go to the word heel,
Okay. Heel.
forward, and turn, tap, and forward. There you go. And go ahead and turn to your left. Or your right. You're good.
I'm going the wrong way.
You're okay. Now I can already see in him.
Yep.
Now slow and stop. Okay, he sat a little bit back. Go ahead and lightly pull forward and tap. There you go. That's fine right there. Did you see the shift now?
Yeah.
Right? How he was more so bumping against your leg
Yeah.
as opposed to trying to bump forward.
Yeah.
Because you redirected him.
Okay.
Okay? So the reason why that turn is important is for Bailey, when he gets ahead of you,
Yeah.
this goes off, he goes, I don't like this.
Yeah.
He turns around and goes, Mom's going that way. He catches up, it goes away. So
Okay.
he's learning when he comes here, the
Okay.
collar turns off. When you do it the other way, he can jump back. Since you're going in the same direction, he doesn't know
That.
why. He can't
Okay.
connect those dots.
Okay.
And that's the most common way people try to teach it, right? Because earlier you
Yeah.
said, just tap, right? Bring them back.
Yeah, because I've been using the choker collar. I haven't done the
Sure.
this when we're walking, but the choker collar, and that's what I do.
Yeah, right?
Okay.
So let's say with like a pin or the choker,
Yeah.
it's the same concept. I would turn and then I would
I
use
see.
the prong to bring him back to my hip.
Okay.
So I'm going, don't go that way, I'm going this way.
Okay.
Okay?
We'll start using this.
Yeah, so this is
Okay.
making your life a lot better.
Yeah.
Okay?
Okay.
So when Bailey gets ahead of you, so you go outside,
Mm-hmm.
it's easiest to start with potty break,
Mhm.
let him get that out.
Okay.
Once it's done, it's like, okay, Bailey, heel, and you just start moving, right?
Yeah.
Don't worry about where he is so much, as
Okay.
long as he's on the left side
Okay.
somewhere.
Okay.
So like, let's say Bailey's over here pottying.
Yeah.
If I'm gonna go into a heel,
Yeah.
I would start it so that I'm here.
Okay.
Heel, Because it's
And then-
easier for him to come in like this.
Yeah,
And then, if needed,
You
you would turn
turn.
off to go back the other way.
Okay. okay,
Just to make it easier for both him and you, because if
Okay.
you say heel and he's over here,
right,
he's got to do a lot more to get here.
Okay.
So make it simple.
okay,
So once you cue that word, Bailey should be on your hip. So let's say you're going to walk to the dog park.
yeah,
And he knows dog park, right? You may have to go higher.
okay,
So he said, Enrique said he's usually in the low 10s to 15s,
yeah,
outside 20 to 25,
Yeah.
right? But you're going to dog park, and if he knows that pattern,
Yeah.
you could be 35, 45,
Okay.
right? So when you're walking there, if he starts the forwards thinking, hey, where do you want to go? I would turn, tap,
okay,
bring him back,
Okay.
and then turn
turn
again,
around
and then keep going, right?
okay,
When you hit the appropriate number, it should be night and day.
okay,
It should never feel like an argument,
Okay.
especially for Bailey.
Okay.
Bailey's had all the training.
Yeah.
right? So then it just comes down to what number do you need in order to respect the command and adhere to it?
okay,
Okay, because dog logic and our logic is very different.
okay,
If Bailey's like, hey, I really want to get to that park, I want to get there fast,
okay,
you might, if he's, pulling,
yeah,
you could go as high as 95
okay,
before he actually listens.
okay,
But for the human, the owner goes like, man, Jesse, I just want him to stop pulling, but I need 95. I'm like, yeah, because the reward of getting to the dog park is worth the 95.
right,
But then they'll notice, yep, when I went right to 95,
it was,
it will stop, and my
Okay.
dog stuck to my
so
side.
that is kind of what I've been doing wrong too, is like each time getting up.
How so?
Like meaning like even not with the heel, but at the dog park for recall or for not jump,
Uh,
I like start at his low number and then each time go up.
Sure, and that's
So-
because you're getting used to it.
Yeah,
Okay, so now what you're gonna do
it's just,
is use the numbers that have been effective,
yeah,
right? So, because you've technically done a lot of research.
yeah,
You're like, well, I know at the dog park, if he jumps on someone, it's 25.
yeah.
But instead of inching up, you're just
I
25.
just need to go. And same thing with this. If in the dog park I know he's 90, I just go to 90
You
right
just go
away.
to 90,
Okay,
right.
okay.
Now, because you're doing that, which you may find
Mhm.
is able to work backwards then, is let's say you start using 90
Yeah.
right off the bat,
Uh-huh,
and he's fine, right? And then one day he yelps. It's because you've conditioned it so much
Uh-huh.
that now he's more sensitive,
okay,
that then the number goes down lower.
okay,
Okay, some dogs stay stuck, and
okay,
they're like, they always need 90.
okay,
Other dogs will
Right.
take 90 for a couple of weeks, and then they're like, oh, I know I need to listen here.
Okay.
And in 60s now, the new 90. Does that make
Okay.
sense?
yeah,
So the more you use the
Okay.
remote, the more focused he gets. Like, look at Bailey now. So he's just chilling there,
yeah,
right? Because now that you just bumped it to 15, and you're like,
Mhm.
look, I need you to adhere to this command.
Right.
He's going, okay,
I'm not gonna,
right? And we just have to go 5 levels. Now, we are, of course, inside my
Yeah.
facility.
yeah,
But it's the same rule outside.
okay,
So whenever anybody is struggling with something, obedience-wise,
Yeah.
in a new environment, I'll tell them, it's too low.
Okay.
It's the most common
Okay.
problem because of the way that we train.
Okay.
So, as you take your research, when you go back home, just think, hey, you know what, it's been, 35 to the dog park, 45 on the rare occasion,
yeah,
right? It's been 25 to get them to stop, chasing dogs or whatever,
Yeah.
like the ball thing.
yeah,
And it's, 90 when they already have the ball.
yeah,
You just start jumping to these things,
uh-huh,
and you may get a yip.
okay,
It's okay.
Okay.
Don't feel sorry for it. Don't
Okay.
feel bad.
okay,
Because let's say you have to go to 90, you have to go to 90 for a reason,
right,
right? So it's not like he's not had the opportunity to do anything prior. He's
Yeah.
had plenty of opportunity,
right,
but it took 90 to get him to
Right.
do it, right?
yeah,
It's like, so for me growing up, I cried when I got spanked.
mm-hmm,
My mom didn't like it, but I was like, hey, if you just don't do the things
right,
that I
yeah,
told you not to
then,
do, you would not get spanked,
and then you won't be
right?
crying.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I look at it the same way.
Okay, I like that,
Okay. It's like a 3 or 4 year old kid.
Okay.
So again, you're not doing anything intentionally to hurt Bailey.
uh-huh,
It's just like my client who had to go to 127.
yeah,
Her dog
Could have died.
screamed his ass off.
yeah,
And jumped up and hit the ground in 180.
but,
And she's like, I felt terrible, but he would have gotten hit by a car.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, it's perfectly fine.
yeah,
I don't like it either,
right,
but I do it because we know what's going to happen. The dog does not.
right,
Okay. Now, what
Okay.
you might find now is heel is such an important command,
Okay.
which is why it's the first thing we teach.
yes, I skipped over it, I want to recall.
Yes, recall is super important. So heel is important because it's the most used, because you walk your dog every day.
Yeah, okay.
Recall is the most important because it brings them back from dangerous, or potentially dangerous situations,
Okay.
right? So they go hand in hand.
Okay.
What the heel can possibly do
Uh-huh.
is fix other things that we struggle with.
Okay.
So like if I heel with him to the dog park,
Yeah.
and he enters the dog park calmly,
Yeah.
you may not get jumping on people.
Okay.
Because typically things like that can be overstimulation.
Okay.
But if he's pulled there,
Right.
and he's super amped up, and then you let him in, he's more amped up.
Right.
He's not the people, he's more amped up.
Right. Yeah.
It's oh my God. Is that he's super he's super amped up.
Yeah.
Whereas if you walk with him in a strict manner, and we get there, and it's like, okay, now you can go play, and he gets a little excited,
Uh-huh.
you know, he's going to a 2 to 3 as opposed to going to a 7 or 8.
Right. Okay.
Okay.
And that's
Yes. So when we
Yes.
deal with behaviors, the behaviors aren't the problem.
okay.
They're the symptom of the problem.
Okay.
Okay. Jumping, too much excitement.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Earlier on the call, the dog bit a few people
Yeah.
because it's a nervous, fearful dog.
Okay.
Okay. So it's not an aggressive dog. It's
It's
a dog that's nervous and fearful,
Yeah.
and when under too much stress, goes into self-defense mode and thinks, I need you to back away.
okay.
It's very different.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
when Bailey does stuff,
Yeah.
you know, he comes home and he's jumping in, he's excited.
Yeah.
We just correct him.
Yeah.
Right. That will address the excitement.
Uh-huh.
So other things like going to the dog park can be prevented because you're keeping him structured,
Okay.
and then you're rewarding him with freedom as opposed to it's just a free for all the way there.
Right.
Okay?
Right.
So we're going to do the heel a few more times,
Okay.
and then we're going to talk about a couple of turns. Okay?
Okay.
So heel.
Yeah.
And you remember though, and we're going to just turn to your right here. And you're going to slow down again and stop. Good. Heel.
Yeah.
Left leg forward.
Yeah.
Good. You turn to your right again. Yep, good job. And then slow walk and stop. Now, what am I having you do before you stop?
Slow down so he knows to stop.
Yes, you drive, right?
Yeah.
What do you do before you stop?
Slow down.
What do you do before you turn?
Slow down.
Right. Because if you just stop, whoever's behind you might tend to crash into you.
Right.
If you just turn, you might just cut off or turn into someone, right? Because it's abrupt.
Right.
So for dogs, it's the same thing.
Okay.
And this is the main thing, if you leave today, and you have this stuff, we'll put it up and stuff, is if you leave today, the one thing I want you to remember about the heel is the word heel.
Uh-huh.
Leg matters, but not the biggest thing. Just, you have to cue it to start it,
Uh-huh.
and then slowing down
Okay.
before you stop and slowing down before you turn.
Okay.
Because as long as you're going slower, it
Yeah.
should be no problem for Bailey to pick up on what you're doing.
Okay.
Now, if you slow down and Bailey is not paying attention,
Yeah.
what is he going to do?
He's gonna keep going the wrong direction.
And then what are you going to do? And?
And then turn around
Yes.
so that I can redirect him.
Yes, because you did your job.
Yeah.
You slow down, and he's going not paying attention, so then you turn, tap to correct him,
Uh-huh.
because heel tells Bailey to pay attention,
Okay.
so that's his job.
Okay.
Your job is to make sure he is paying attention.
Okay.
Okay, so it's a two-part process, it's
Okay.
like dancing, okay?
Okay.
So you turn on the heel, you slow down, you communicate, hey buddy, something's changing.
Yeah.
And he was just too distracted, and you turn and correct him, okay?
Okay.
Now, when we do our turns,
Uh-huh.
we have two types of turns really.
Okay.
We have the pivot and we have the left turn.
Okay.
So when you cue heel,
Yeah.
if you're going to turn to your left,
Uh-huh.
which is crossing over Bailey,
Right.
you're going to lead it with your right leg.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
since Bailey's on the left,
Yeah.
you use your left leg, you're going to trip over him. So it would be heel, slow down, and you're going to cross with your right leg
Okay.
like that, and
Okay.
cross again just to keep a path.
Okay.
So it's going to look very robotic at the beginning.
Okay.
It's okay because I did that. I'll start me now.
Yeah.
Now, if you do this with the right legs, it makes everything smoother.
Okay.
But technically, if you slow down enough and you go into the turns, it really doesn't matter.
Okay.
But it helps the dog a lot.
Okay.
So heel, and then you're going to cross with that right leg like this,
Mhm.
sharp 90-degree cut. Then left leg, then another sharp 90-degree cut. Now you're going the opposite way.
Okay.
If you're making just a general left, it would just be right leg,
Uh-huh.
and then we keep going that way.
Okay.
Okay? Then we have our right turn.
Mm-hmm.
This is the turn that we do earlier, right?
Yeah.
So just go like this.
That's just
Okay?
Okay.
That's when Bailey passes. But
Okay.
if Bailey's paying attention, it would be unfair to do this out of nowhere.
Right.
Because he's not going to catch it.
Right.
Okay, it's too abrupt.
Right.
So what
Okay.
we would do is you extend your left leg,
Mm-hmm.
back on your right leg, and forward to left leg like this.
Okay.
Okay, so it goes left, right, left.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly,
Okay.
just like that, okay?
Okay.
So that turn would be a turn that you do when Bailey's paying attention. If he's not paying attention, you just go,
Okay.
okay? Because people tend to get these, since it's the same direction,
Yeah.
they tend to get confused.
Yeah.
Just turn off,
Okay.
okay? So you have the left turn crossing with the right leg,
Uh-huh.
okay? And then you're going to have the 180 pivot going to your right, starting with the left leg. So you're leading with the leg opposite to the turn.
Uh-huh.
Okay, so we're going to do a turn at a time.
Okay.
We're going to start with first the left turn. Okay?
Okay.
That's the crossover.
Okay.
Again, you're crossing over Bailey with that right leg.
Okay.
Okay, so you're going to say heel,
Uh-huh. Heel.
and then you're going to start walking. And then when you're ready for that turn, you're going to slow down at least 3 steps, and then get ready to lead with that right leg. There you go. Good. And then pick up your pace. And then slow. And get ready to left turn. Right, left, right. There you go. Just like that. We're going to do a couple more. Good. That's okay. And then heel.
Heel.
And just a few more of the left turns. Right, left, right. There you go. Okay, one more. Good, and then slow to stop. And give a tap here. So you see how he automatically sat?
Oh, yeah.
So he didn't sit automatically.
Okay.
He was standing up.
Okay.
So when you tapped him, he put his butt down. Because it's built into the command. You don't have to say sit here, but you would remind him. Okay? Now, just to clarify for you, if you say sit
Yeah.
right there, he's no longer in a heel, he is now in a sit.
Okay.
So that's the new command.
Oh, see, that's good to.
Yes, most people don't see it that way.
Yeah.
So heel,
Okay.
remember packaged, walk with me,
Yeah.
stay with me, sit when I stop.
Okay.
Okay? Otherwise, it would be heel, sit. Heel,
Right.
sit.
Okay.
Heel, sit,
Yeah.
right? So then you're saying a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
I'm all about saying very little.
Okay. I like
So,
that.
so the only time you would say sit is like, let's say, Bailey was on his own time, and you're like, I'm gonna call you up, sit.
Mhm.
Then you would call him up,
Mhm.
because in that moment he's free.
Okay.
In this moment, he's in heel.
Okay.
He should automatically sit. If not, you would make him.
Okay.
So there's no word there.
Right. He just.
He just did it in response to the
Okay.
caller, because he's learned through training. When I'm here, I feel this, and you need to put my butt there.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So now, we're going to do the pivot.
Okay.
So that's going to be heel, and then left, right, left. So now you're going back the opposite way.
Okay.
Okay? Go ahead.
Heel.
Right, left. Good job. Just a few more. Right, left. Good job. 2 more. Left, right, left. Excellent. Last one. Perfect. And slow to stop. Good. And you see how slack your leash is? And how he's just on your hip?
Yeah.
That's how it should be no matter what the environment is.
Okay.
That's your picture.
Okay.
So the only thing that's going to change is when you're out, maybe you're on the forest preserve.
Yeah.
Or you're walking to the dog park.
Yeah.
Is your number is most likely not going to be 15.
Okay.
25, 30.
Right.
It's your job to just think like, all right, I always go to 35 and then I'm on the forest preserve
Okay.
trail. So Bailey's number is just 35.
Okay.
If he yips, then I just go down a little bit.
Okay.
28 or so. Whatever.
Okay.
But that's how seamless it should feel.
Okay.
Heel and we just walk. Okay?
Wow.
So, what I'm going to have you do here
Mhm.
is I'm going to have you just use these things interchangeably.
Okay.
You're going to say heel, you're going to move, and then you can turn left randomly
Okay.
by slowing down, of course. Then you can pivot. You're just moving, doing all these turns randomly.
Okay.
If Bailey's paying attention and your communication is correct, there should be no need for remote.
Okay.
Okay, it's all body language.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
Ready? Heel.
Good. Good pivot, yep. Good left turn. Good crossover. Good, good. Good, just a couple more. Good. Good. And last turn. And slow to stop. Very good. So here, you see all that craziness?
Yeah.
But heel's right there.
Yeah.
Because you're communicating back with him.
Okay.
The most important part of all of this is the slowing down.
Okay.
Okay, so if in a week or so you're like, man, Jesse, like he's not crossing over like he was, or he's not pivoting like he was, I'll most likely tell you it's your number,
Okay.
or you're not slowing down.
That's not good. Okay.
Those are the two things that
Okay.
people always forget. They don't
Okay.
raise their number, they don't slow down.
Okay.
So that's feel.
Okay.
What I suggest in the beginning is before your walk is you let go body.
Yeah.
You do 5 heels to
Okay.
stop,
Okay.
5 heels to crossover turn,
Okay.
and then 5 heels pivots.
Okay.
So you'll cover like just a little bit of space
Okay.
to warm yourself up.
Okay.
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 So for most, because for you, you're getting delayed follow-up, right?
Right.
He already knows this stuff, and
Right.
dogs don't forget,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
He's doing everything.
Then you guys thought, yeah.
So for my in-person private lessons, I always tell people the same thing. I go, you have to develop your muscle memory.
Okay.
The reason why, so even dogs that have no training and stuff,
Uh-huh.
pick this up immediately
Okay.
because they use body language.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why it's very easy for them to pick up on
Okay.
communicating using their language.
Okay.
So for the humans, however, we're
It's-
more so sound-based,
Right.
that it's more thinking for us to
Okay.
have to do these things.
Okay.
So the 5 heel to stops, 5 heel to crossovers, 5 heel to pivots,
Yeah.
just to warm you up, get in your muscle memory.
Okay.
The hardest part is more like, now you're walking, and
Yeah.
it's, I'm gonna turn left at the stop sign. Okay, now you have to plan it.
Right.
Now it's like, okay, this is the stop sign, I have to slow down,
Uh-huh.
right? And then, right?
Okay.
Right, and then just keep going that way.
Okay.
That's the hardest part for people.
Okay.
Because now you're up here,
Right.
okay?
Yeah.
Because you have to think you have Bailey with you,
Yeah.
and he doesn't know what you're doing.
Right.
Right? You can communicate, kind of like what we do with driving.
Right.
We don't know what other people are doing.
Right.
But if I see their blinker that's going like this, then I'm assuming they need to get in front of me.
Yeah.
So I slow down.
Right.
Right?
Okay.
So think of your legs as blinkers for Bailey.
Okay.
Now, if you're going to do a turn or something,
Yeah.
and he keeps going,
Yeah.
you will always, as default, turn and tap
Okay.
to correct them,
Okay.
even if you're going to stop.
Okay.
Because what most people do is they slow down,
Yeah.
so stop, and the dog goes, and they just pull them back, right?
Right, yeah.
But they're like, I'm just going to stop anyway, it's a red light. I'm like, yes,
But then.
but the dog isn't paying attention.
Okay.
He should be stopping with you,
Okay.
just like he is here.
Okay.
So just keep that in mind.
Okay.
Just think, at Jesse's place, he was great.
Yeah.
Right? How do I get him to be great here? Number.
Right. Okay.
That's all it is. It's always just
Number.
number, and remember to slow down.
Okay.
Otherwise, you're going to lose him a bit.
Okay.
Question about this.
No, if he, I guess, yeah, when he's on a walk, and I think you guys, he pees like 12,000 times. So is that, will this help?
Yeah.
Like, just getting him to pee at the beginning and stop feeling like he has to pee on every single tree that we
Yes,
pass?
because he's marking. Okay?
Yeah,
So
that's
my
a good-
Chihuahua,
Uh-huh.
same problem.
Okay.
When I first got him.
Yeah.
8 years ago. He was unneutered, feral
Yeah.
dog, who peed 100 times.
Yeah.
So what I did was, we get a 5-minute break at the beginning,
Okay.
and then it's speed walk.
Okay.
Right? And when we would walk and he'd try to pull away,
Okay. Okay.
right? So now you can correct him, and you're
Okay.
giving him, like, so if you're walking with Bailey, the exception to turning this way
Yeah.
is if he goes that way.
Right. Okay.
So like, let's say you pass by a tree and he goes to pee on the tree,
Yeah.
you just keep tapping, you keep walking, and then you tap
Uh-huh.
to bring him back.
Okay.
Right? But the important thing is you keep your movement.
Okay.
People always stop.
Yeah, I know.
So the
That's
thing-
exactly what I
yes.
do.
People always stop, and then you're tapping the dog, and then he doesn't know what to do because
Okay.
you're not moving anymore.
Okay.
So you keep your movement, you
Okay.
tap him, he comes back, you keep walking. Right?
Okay.
So now he starts to learn, hey, every time I do this, I get tapped, and I'm back here again.
Mm-hmm.
And then let's say you walk for an hour and you stop and you go break.
Yeah.
So break means now
can-
you can potty,
Okay.
right? Now you're free.
Okay.
It's all of a sudden he's gonna pee everything that he has.
Okay.
Okay.
It's all just learn.
Yeah. So my dogs are conditioned to be potty at the beginning,
Yeah.
sometimes in the middle, and at the very end.
Okay.
Okay, that's my structure because I don't want to stop 100 times.
Right.
Okay. So once you cue the word heel,
Yeah.
Bailey's job is to be here.
Okay.
There's no peeing, there's
Okay.
no pooping, there's
Okay.
no stopping to sniff,
Okay.
there's no feeding dogs, there's no feeding people.
Okay.
It's you're here, we're moving.
Okay.
Okay? So it's very strict. People tend to give leniency.
Uh-huh.
It's like earlier when you were over here, remember he laid down for a second,
Yeah.
he said tap,
Yeah.
and he popped back up again.
Uh-huh.
So heel, is that a command you did?
Yeah.
Walk with me, stay with me, sit when I stop.
Uh-huh.
Is if he lays down,
Uh-huh.
people go, oh, well, he's just trying to get comfortable, right? And I get that. He's not doing anything bad.
Right.
But he's doing something out of the command.
Right.
So then the dog thinks, well, you know, if I'm in command and I can just lay down when I want, then I can pee when I want,
Right.
then I can sniff when I
Okay.
want, and then I can jump when I want, right?
Okay.
It becomes other things.
Okay.
So
Not just.
the human can excuse the behavior because we're logical.
Yeah.
The dog doesn't think, oh, you're making an exception for me.
Okay.
You know, just like they would at the store.
Yeah.
We're like, you know what? We usually charge people, you know, full price for a meal, but because you waited 30 minutes longer than we anticipated, we're going to comp the meal,
Right,
right?
yeah.
That's an exception
Right.
to something.
Right.
Dogs don't understand that concept,
Okay.
So it's always, you're very black and white.
All or nothing.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Because he will learn to play with that gray area.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Other questions?
Oh, that's the big one.
So you've been practicing recall, you're practicing stay, you're practicing heal.
Yeah.
We have stationary work.
Mhm.
The easiest one that I'll cover with you is the place command. Are you
Mhm.
familiar with this?
A little bit.
Okay. So the place command is, you know, realistically speaking,
Uh-huh.
let's say you go to a restaurant patio,
Yeah.
you'd like to bring Bailey.
Yeah.
But Bailey's all over the place.
Yeah.
Simplest way to go about it is you need to bring a towel,
Uh-huh.
a blanket,
Uh-huh.
a little dog bed or whatever.
Yeah.
And you just pop it down. It's just something that has a perimeter. We use the other dog bed, okay? But it doesn't have to be anything fancy. It just
Uh-huh.
has to be something that has a perimeter.
Okay.
So the word place means go here,
Uh-huh.
and I don't care what you do.
Uh-huh.
Okay, sit down, lay down,
Uh-huh.
stand up, fall asleep. I don't care, but you cannot step off of
Okay.
the perimeter of the placemat itself.
Okay.
Okay. So let's say you go on a brunch or whatever.
Yeah.
Bailey's place, he's here, and now I don't have to worry about what Bailey is doing.
Okay.
Right, because I know he's under command.
Okay.
If I see Bailey's trying to sneak away,
Yeah.
we would tap him
Okay.
to bring him back again.
Okay.
Now the reason why I would suggest this one
Uh-huh.
is because if you're trying to enjoy dinner or something,
Yeah.
you don't want to have to worry about what Bailey is doing.
Right.
This is the most lenient or easy to do command, and
Okay.
it's not strict.
Okay.
If you told Bailey to down, which she knows,
Uh-huh.
it means lay down,
Right.
and that's it. You can't sit up, you can't stand up, it's down. Here, it's just go here and don't move.
Okay.
If you sit, stand, or lay down,
Okay.
just don't step off of the area.
Okay.
So
Okay.
there's less for you to think about.
Okay.
Because if you go to dinner and you're like, hey, down, now you have to worry about the positioning he's in, and you're trying to enjoy your dinner.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so go ahead, what you're gonna do here,
Should I let go of this leash?
no, keep it on,
Okay.
and you're gonna say the word place, and you're gonna take a little bit of pressure towards the leash here, towards the mat there, okay?
Place.
Yep. And take a step forward. Yep. Right there. Good. So now Bailey is on place. Okay? So here, his job is to stay there and not move.
Uh-huh.
So like let's say somebody came up and he's like, what are you doing? Right? And they're petting him and
Yeah.
stuff. He does not come up. Okay? And they move away,
Mhm.
he stays
Yes,
put.
he stays.
Okay?
I wanna
Now
try.
and this is all okay, like he can stand.
Right.
Okay? It's just do not step off the area.
Okay.
So like let's say you have friends come over.
Yeah.
And you want Bailey to like not jump on them and leave them alone.
Yeah.
You would use this command.
Okay.
Okay, now, do keep in mind,
Uh-huh.
this is separate from what I said earlier.
Mm-hmm.
Earlier I said if he jumps on someone, you can tap him.
Yeah.
To correct the behavior.
Yeah.
That's what I would call interventive measures, because
Uh-huh.
you're intervening
As
with the
he's doing
behavior.
it, yeah.
Exactly. This is preventative.
Okay.
Okay? So if your friends are coming over at 5:30,
Yeah.
5 o'clock, Bailey plays.
Okay.
They knock on the door, they ring the
Uh-huh.
doorbell, Bailey starts barking, you can just turn, you would face him,
Yeah.
give a tap
Okay.
to settle him,
Okay.
and then go to the door.
Okay.
Super important.
Okay.
Because if he's already like, hey, who's at the door?
Yeah.
And then you open, he's like, hey, how you doing?
Yep.
Bailey, right? So when he does that, hey, who's at the door, and you tap him, you're going, hey, someone up.
Okay.
Okay? Now, what you might find in the beginning,
Uh-huh.
I don't think you will, because we've done a lot of work with him,
Yeah.
is when you tap him, he might charge the door.
Okay.
Because that's what he's wanting to do, so he's unlocking the behavior. Okay? So then you would keep tapping.
Okay.
And in the beginning, you want your leash.
Yeah.
Grab
Okay.
his leash. Don't say place again. Just leave him back. He should run there on his own.
Uh-huh.
Wait for a moment.
Okay.
And then you go back to the door.
Okay.
So we don't ever repeat command.
Okay.
And I don't say
Okay.
stay because it's implied. It's go here and don't move.
Okay,
okay? And Bailey's done like upwards of 2 to 3 hours here,
okay,
like at a time,
yeah, without,
because you see our mats here.
yeah, yeah.
So like.
We did
Bailey-
buy one like this.
Excuse me?
I bought a
Oh,
dog,
did you?
yeah, to
Yeah,
like,
these
for
last
this, I
forever.
just haven't done it yet.
Yeah, these last forever.
Okay, yeah, like, to learn this command, but we just haven't done it yet.
For sure, so
Okay.
you can use your
Mine at home.
elevated bed.
Yeah,
So like, here Bailey's day was you come in, potty break,
mhm,
you might do some play,
Mhm.
then we take them out, we do some training,
Yeah.
then we do duration work, and
Yeah.
we be there for 2 hours, and then
Okay.
take them out, potty, and play,
Okay.
then more training, then possibly more duration work, or a walk, right?
okay,
It was constantly some kind of structured exercise,
Okay.
right? So then here, when we eat, like, this is perfectly fine.
yeah,
Now, you do want to read his body language, because
Mhm.
sometimes this, you can see him smelling,
Yeah.
starts to become like this.
how can I inch out?
Yes, and this is the moment you see the sneaking,
Yeah,
is you would tap him
Okay.
to get him to go back on it.
Okay.
But always expect in the beginning
yeah,
that he might flush off.
Uh-huh.
You just keep tapping and
Okay.
come back, and then he learns tap means don't flush off.
okay,
Tap means get more so on the space.
Okay.
Okay?
okay,
Questions?
no,
So again, it's very simple.
okay,
Number, right? Guest coming over. If there's nothing going on, like here his number's 10 to 15,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
And he's gotten used to the environment of people walking through,
Right.
dogs walking by and stuff, that's
Right.
very effective for him. But in your home,
Yeah.
because it's someone actively walking into the territory,
Yeah.
you might see more, how do you say, intensity to make
Okay.
a mistake, right? So then you might find, hey, when I have to come over, it's 30, 35.
right,
And it's usually, it will most likely be the same number you would use, like, outside on the walk,
yeah,
when there's gonna be something actively happening.
okay,
But like, let's say you're just home all day,
yeah,
you're gonna just like do some work, or
Yeah.
like watch TV, and you're lounging around or whatever, it'd be placed and your number's 10 to 15, because
Okay.
nothing's happening,
okay,
okay? You can do as long as you want,
uh-huh,
right off the bat.
okay,
Okay, there's no like 15 minutes, 20 minutes.
okay,
After you top Bailey plays,
yeah,
2 hours,
okay,
right away, same
Okay.
day, okay?
okay,
But he made a lot of mistakes,
yeah,
so he just worked out all his mistakes.
okay,
You may just have 1 or 2 because of your settings.
yeah,
But then he's gonna just think, oh, like this is just like at Jesse's place,
Right.
like, I can't move and I have
Okay.
to be here for a period of time.
and this could help then, if like, say I know someone's coming to the door, I put him in his place, so he stops chasing the cats away, I'm hoping,
Oh,
when
okay,
people are
so that's
coming
gonna be different.
in. Yeah,
So you can technically do both, right?
Right,
But
okay.
place is just intervention, I'm not sorry, intervention, prevention.
Yeah.
Because it's, hey, go here.
yeah,
So then he's thinking, man, I really want to chase those cats,
Yeah.
but I can't because I'm here.
yeah,
Okay?
Okay.
So it doesn't teach the coexistence.
okay, okay,
What would teach the coexistence is, if I know Bailey's not aggressive,
Yeah.
the cat's, there's no prey drive, and he's
Right.
just like wants to play with
just
them,
likes to chase him.
but the cat's like, we don't like this, then it would be, all right, Bailey's out, the cats are out, he tries to chase them, I correct it.
Okay,
So you're saying that's not acceptable.
Okay.
Okay?
okay,
And you can always do both,
okay,
right? So like maybe you do a bit of like, I'm gonna correct you when you're being crazy.
yeah,
But then for the cats, you wanna give them some time to just like relax.
yeah,
And then I go, okay, I'm gonna put you under control.
Okay.
So that, and you'll see, when the
Okay.
cats notice you have control,
yeah,
they'll start to come out,
uh-huh,
and they'll be like,
yeah,
Bailey's not chasing us
Yep.
right now, right?
yeah,
You'll start to see them become more comfortable.
Okay.
And you might even see them like come up
yeah,
and walk right past. them.
okay,
Like, I've seen some funny stuff, where they press the boundaries.
Yeah.
Like, I know that you can't do anything. So, but yeah, so think of it as 2 things.
Okay.
I'm not saying that this is wrong.
Okay.
I'm just saying if you're trying to get coexistence without him chasing them,
Right.
you have to correct the chase.
okay,
So then he learns,
Okay.
all right, that's behavior.
Okay.
I don't
okay,
do. Okay?
okay,
Other questions?
so far so good.
So then here, go ahead and pick up your leash.
Mm-hmm.
And then, let's see what he does. So, okay, good, you're gonna wait a moment. So sometimes when you pick up the leash, the dog will anticipate, I'm gonna be free,
Yeah,
right? So I always like to wait, and then
Okay.
your cue would be either break,
okay,
now your job is done.
Okay.
So go and go break,
break,
and then bring your leash, just walk with Bailey, he's not under command, he's free,
break,
okay? And then go ahead and turn this way, there you go, yeah, get that leash, there you go. That, and we'll stop right there, wait a moment. And sometimes dogs will preempt the place,
yeah,
so that if that happens,
uh-huh,
and you need him to go there,
Yeah.
it's not a place because he went there.
right,
You have to send him,
okay,
right?
Okay.
In order for it to be effective.
Okay.
So here, again, you're going to say place
place,
and tap.
place,
There we go. Forward tap,
place.
right there.
You don't have to keep saying it.
Yes, just
Okay.
the one time, it's
One
okay,
time.
everybody
Okay.
does it, okay?
Okay.
So it's place, and what I liked was that you were tapping,
Uh-huh.
and she's like inching closer. And so she went there.
Okay.
Now, and the only reason why I would suggest leash in the beginning
Yeah.
is because it's all happening here. It's
Yeah.
just transferring it to your home.
Okay.
And then once you
okay.
do it for a couple of days,
Uh-huh.
you should be able to place them no
Okay.
problem, especially if you get the safety because it's very familiar to him.
Yeah, yeah.
Right? So it's going to be an easy transition.
Yeah.
But it can also be other things. Like like let's say you're not going to carry that to
Right.
the bar.
Right.
You could carry, I've had people use yoga mats,
Uh-huh.
towels,
And
blankets,
it's still
anything.
Okay.
But if it's something new, you will have to do a couple of
Okay.
initial places
Okay.
to teach Bailey this is also a place,
Okay.
right? Because if you just take it there and assume he's going to recognize it,
Yeah.
he's not.
Okay.
Okay? You have to create some familiarity.
Okay.
And then after a few times, then yes, he will recognize.
It'll become super.
Yes, okay?
Okay.
So go take up your leash again. And you're going to, this time, instead of saying break, you're going to say heel, and you're going to walk that way.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
You're going to shorten your leash a little bit. Very good, that's perfect. And excellent. You're going to do your turns. Nice. Good. Go to pivot. Nice pivot. And you're going to slow those stop about right there. Yep. Excellent. So you said we moved a lot. So what you do here is let's go going back down. Go down this slow.
Okay.
Because that's a really big movement. And what you're going to do now
Uh-huh.
is light leash pressure to your left.
Uh-huh.
Tap. Like this. Yep. Pull. Tap. A little bit more. Tap. Right there.
Okay.
And one more time. Tap. There. Because he moved forward, but he didn't put his butt down.
Okay.
So all you're doing there is guiding him with very little bit of leash pressure, but the pressure just directs him on where to go.
Okay.
Okay? So
It's not to
tension
hold
isn't
him
a
there.
bad thing.
Okay.
It's to guide him. The only tension I don't ever want
Uh-huh.
is backwards tension
Okay.
to get him to not pull. 'Cause-
Okay.
So backwards tension actually creates more pulling. Over here, Jim.
Okay.
Okay? A lot of puppies. Now, the down command.
Uh-huh.
Okay? Do you have any familiarity with it?
We use that at home a lot.
Okay, how do you do?
Pretty good. Like,
Excellent. So go ahead and just take one little step back so you're next to Bailey. There you go. There you go. And you're going to go ahead and just cue the word down.
down.
Yep. 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 Stand where you are. Hold your left. Tap. 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 Choke a little bit higher, closer to the flat collar. Excellent. Yep. Forward. Tap. Forward. Yep. Right there. Now what you're going to do is let your leash go slack.
Okay.
And then like you had that little U before.
Yeah.
And then loop it around so it's on the other side. There we go, like that. And then step.
Sorry.
Good. And if he has trouble, and I'm having to keep it here for the sake of making it easier for to relax your arm. And with your left leg,
Uh-huh.
you're going to step on the little middle
Oh,
portion
okay.
to put downward pressure on him
Okay.
with the leash. And you want to pull up a little bit until you feel the pressure.
Down.
Almost right there. Now, yeah. Excellent.
Okay.
Okay. So here, that downward pressure,
Uh-huh.
either because there's something in
Yeah.
here.
Okay.
And also, I think you're going pretty quick with the taps.
Like too fast?
Yes.
Okay.
So for stationary stuff,
Yeah.
we go slower.
Okay.
For stuff where we want him to move, you
Okay.
go faster. So for instance, recall.
Oh,
Right, with
okay.
recall, you can do more power
Yeah.
or faster frequency because
Okay.
you want him to run.
Yeah.
Right? Here,
Some confusing
it's not so much confusing, it's that it can be, it makes him a little edgy,
Yeah.
so then that's why he kept moving.
Okay.
So now it's like, wait,
Okay.
break,
Okay.
boom, and then we use the leash to give a little bit of direction
Okay.
because he was panicking a bit.
Okay.
That's where all that movement was coming from.
See, okay. Okay.
And it's okay.
Okay.
Like, you're not going to screw him up or anything like that. Okay? He's not thinking in his mind, oh my God, I'm also me or anything like that. I just see that and go, okay, we're going to go down a little bit.
Uh-huh.
We're going to go from 15 to 12 because
Okay.
that's too big of a jump.
Yeah.
And then we added that slack, a little bit of leash tension, and then the tap, and then he went right into it.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So, one thing about, dog training is people expect the dog learns it, they should do it.
Yeah.
Okay? And I go, that's not how it works.
Okay.
Humans can do that.
Yeah.
Right? I can learn to play guitar and play guitar.
Right.
Or practice or whatever, right?
Yeah.
For dogs, he's having to have learned all this stuff
Mhm.
with one device
Mhm.
and decipher what it means according to what's going on. So here, we sat
Okay.
down because he was next to you. He
Yeah.
could have been like, I'm already sitting, right?
Right.
Like they heel, whatever.
Right.
So then when I add in that little bit of leash pressure on his neck to go downwards,
Uh-huh.
he's going, oh, okay, this is what you need
Okay.
to do. So it kind of clarifies things for me.
Okay.
right? But I do like that you've been employing it. So think of the down
Yeah.
is a very strict a version of place.
Okay.
Okay, because
Okay.
place is go here,
Yeah.
stand, sit, lay down, I don't care.
Yeah.
Down is this, nothing else.
Okay.
Okay? So this is technically another thing to use at the restaurant and all that stuff.
Mhm.
This is technically a thing you do with the cat preventatively.
Uh-huh.
Okay?
Okay.
It's just, what are you gonna want to use given the moment?
Yeah.
Okay? So
Okay.
I look at it as, if I'm gonna be really distracted
Uh-huh.
and want to enjoy myself,
Yeah.
then I employ that. That's
Okay.
less strict.
Right.
If it's, I'm gonna be mindful, like I'm gonna be reading a book on the bench at the park,
Yeah.
and I don't have to be, so what's going on,
Yeah.
then I can down him
Uh-huh.
and step on the leash and read my book.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Yeah.
So that's how I differentiate it.
Okay.
Some clients actually prefer like the stricter command
Okay.
in a distracting sense, like the restaurant or
Yeah.
whatever,
Okay.
because it gives the dog less options.
Okay.
It's really just personal preference.
Okay.
Okay.
I can kind of.
Questions about any of this? So, for your homework,
Yeah.
now starting to the heel,
Okay.
there's no such thing as too much,
Okay.
okay, because it's not redundant,
Okay.
okay? For you, it's just, you know the stuff,
Yeah.
now it's use it and apply it.
Okay.
Now you have the recall to stay, the down in place, and the heel.
Yeah.
I use heel for my break personally,
Yeah.
anything wrong with my dog.
Okay.
Unless they're actively on break, running around,
Okay.
they're always in heel,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
So, it doesn't make him a mean person.
Mhm.
He doesn't go home and like, Mom, don't let me pee on some things today. He doesn't care about that stuff.
Okay.
And if anything, it will improve his behavior.
Okay.
When I come into behavior cases,
Uh-huh.
I've had several in the past couple of months,
Uh-huh.
where I'm like, I know this is the problem.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see just discipline and teaching the dog how to walk correctly.
Uh-huh.
What does it fix?
Uh-huh.
Okay? And then we know what we need to tackle.
Okay.
And a lot of times it fixes 70% of the problem. Okay?
Okay.
Because again, before it was just like, hey,
Yeah.
and we go to the park, hey, raise all this party energy, you're gonna get more, excitement, stuff like that.
Right.
Now that he's calmer and practicing more passive behavior,
Yeah.
he should be starting to become,
Like, okay.
okay? So I think the first time we came here, he was a little bit of status.
Yeah. And that's what I think he's
Settled
probably
in.
like at the new place, and they just don't use the same
Yeah, it's.
strictness.
Exactly. Most places don't. Like here in Chicago is only one other place that does something similar
Okay.
to us. Other than that, like, they're hard to come by.
Yeah.
It's getting more popular now
Okay.
because dogs are getting more issues because of the lack of structure.
Yeah.
So now, like, trainers like myself are starting to come out.
Okay.
It's just, like, I've been doing this for 10 years.
Yeah.
And I just got next to a year ago.
Okay.
So a
Just
lot of people
getting
like,
it,
so
yeah.
up and coming, right?
Right.
This wasn't like an overnight thing.
Right.
So, but otherwise, it should have this easy.
Okay.
Okay, for what I've learned about Bailey,
Yeah.
great personality,
Yeah.
easy to work with,
Mhm.
very compliant.
Mhm.
It's just a matter of not practicing everything.
Yeah.
We didn't get that formal.
Yeah. Sorry, that was a little.
That's okay.
It was a
But the
hectic
good thing
month.
that we made the video though.
Yeah, no.
Because I was like, man, if we wouldn't have made the videos, we would have had nothing.
No, yeah. At least like we worked on. Like I said, I skipped over stuff obviously,
Sure.
but we worked on the dog park and the recall, and
Sure.
we've been kind of working on jumping.
For sure. So now you have a good kind of concept, and then what I would suggest is once you settle in, back to
Yeah.
jumps and stuff,
Uh huh.
is whenever you're ready, schedule that Zoom.
Okay.
And we'll talk about the more deeper into detail on the tennis ball,
Okay.
whatever,
Yeah.
sleeping thing, the behavior stuff. It'll give you a weaker sheet, start implementing things.
Yeah.
And this way, when you have your Zoom with any kind of things you're still struggling with,
Okay.
you can really pinpoint it.
Okay.
But I don't suspect anything
Yeah.
difficult
Well,
with this guy.
we just need to practice. And so if I have him down like this, like I don't use stay. I can walk away and
Yeah.
he should stay here.
Correct.
Like, okay.
So then if you got up, you would simply, again, at this stage,
Yeah.
you're gonna have a leash on. You
Yeah.
have a leash if let's say you're at home and try tapping him,
Yeah.
he might run off. You
Yeah.
have the ability to.
Yeah.
The leash just helps you limit.
Okay. Where?
What I also suggest is,
Okay.
do you have a long leash?
Yeah. We do.
Like a 30-foot?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Do this stuff
Uh-huh.
with your long leash in the park.
Okay.
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 Because you have, he has the training,
Right.
but now you have to learn because it's weird when you walk your dog and there's nothing in your hand.
Yeah.
It's weird for everybody, okay?
Yeah.
So the long leash allows you to like do that stuff
Okay.
without the worry of like what happens if you try to run away.
Right.
When
Okay.
you do hold the leash, you do want to hold it. I'm gonna show you a couple of things so you don't burn yourself with rope burn.
Okay.
So here, if you're holding the handle
Yeah.
and you're walking a baby in the heel, I
Uh-huh.
have it on my right side.
Okay.
Okay, so it makes a big view behind me,
Uh-huh.
like this to baby. If
Okay.
you have it here, you're gonna be having two lines. So
Yeah.
the dog trips.
Okay.
So I have it here,
Okay.
and like this.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Like that. We call this the trainer board, okay?
Okay.
Because they're locked in the leash.
Okay.
If you do it like this, it can potentially slip off your
Yeah.
hand.
Yeah.
Some people do this.
Yep.
I've had people break your finger.
Okay.
Okay, if the dog pulls,
Yeah.
all that pressure,
Yep.
it's going to constrict. So this is one way to secure
We've done both.
baby to your hand,
Okay.
okay?
Okay.
Is this.
Okay.
Now let's say you're going to shorten the leash
Uh-huh.
for whatever reason,
Uh-huh.
and you're going to grab it somewhere in the middle, which usually here is similar.
Mhm.
You take your leash like this
Mhm.
and just close it around like that.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
So it's kind of creating the same thing with your thumb,
Right.
but you're doing it over your forefinger.
To,
Yeah, like let's say I have a dog, like dog in front of me,
yeah.
and they're just, on their own time.
Yeah.
I'll lock it like this
Uh-huh.
in case they take off. We prevent that
Okay.
from happening.
Okay.
That rope burn.
Yeah.
So putting that lock on it just secures them and keeps your hand safe from any potential rope burn.
Okay.
Because I had that happen to clients and it sucks.
Okay.
Okay. So always make sure there's two people, the two holes, so
Okay.
that this way they prevent that from happening.
Okay.
So he's secured to you. Okay?
Okay.
Questions?
I think my last question is, this has only happened once to me when I was at the dog park
Sure.
and people comment on
Can you
this.
call it?
Yeah, would you, like,
What do I tell
just
people?
say that this has helped him be a better dog, but like,
So he's off to his training.
yeah,
I'll tell him like if so, realistically speaking,
yeah,
I've had dogs run away because of fireworks.
right,
I've had dogs run off because of chasing a rabbit or a squirrel.
yeah,
In that case, earlier the lady, it was 127.
Yeah.
Dogs running towards the dog fight.
yeah,
I had a client, her dog and another dog went after the same tennis ball
uh-huh,
and triggered a fight.
yes.
Yes, and she had to 127 and her
Okay.
dog pulled right out.
Okay,
And she was like, Jesse, I felt bad, because everybody does,
Yeah.
but she was like, it was a fight. And
Yeah.
I said, what happened? She said she ran right out.
Okay.
And I said, yes.
Okay.
Like, otherwise, people risk jumping
well,
in.
and that's the one time that someone said this to me, was a similar situation where a fight was, and I like had it high, he yelped and jumped back.
Yep.
But someone said something about like, which I know is not true, but that he's aggressive because of this, which I know is not true, but I'm just wondering how you respond.
Oh, no, I mean, one, I go,
But he's not an aggressive dog, he just,
yeah, go none of your business.
Yeah.
Like, for me personally, because I've had people confront me about it.
yeah,
I've had a guy that tried to fight me about it.
Okay.
Because you pay their van.
okay,
And I was sitting a dog, and
Yeah.
he was like, oh, I'm like, bro, like no,
Yeah.
it's not gonna happen.
okay,
So the way I put it is, one, don't ever feel like you have to explain yourself.
Right.
Because you don't.
no,
Okay? He's your dog.
right,
So it's kind of like, nowadays with kids,
yeah,
like you can't spank your kids now.
Right.
I guess.
yeah,
Right?
that's a thing now,
Yeah.
apparently.
I was raised with spanking.
Same here.
Yes. And I am thankful for
Yeah.
it because I'm very disciplined because of it.
Right,
My mom's intention was not to abuse me.
Right.
Or just cause harm.
Right.
She would tell me, I don't like this,
right,
but just don't do it and then you won't get spanked.
right, right,
So ultimately it is on me.
Yeah.
Now dogs don't think to that degree.
right,
But we'll make decisions like, do I really want to get promoted for jumping?
right,
Right?
yeah,
No. Okay,
Okay.
then I'm not going to jump on it.
Okay.
Right? So no, it doesn't make dogs more aggressive. I fixed so many dogs that had aggression because of being harmed. You're only using it when you need it.
yeah,
Right?
yeah.
And that whole fight that happened, like you actually stopped or whatever with it.
Yeah, like,
Yeah.
'cause before we fight you guys, the fights would be way worse, it'd be a lot harder to get him out.
Yes.
When he got triggered with the ball aggression.
Sure. So, and the other thing, I was like, he had that before I even did the call.
Exactly.
But they don't know.
No, yeah, I know. I was just
So-
curious if you had a,
No, I've had a client before, it's very rare, but I've had
Yeah.
a client, I remember when I first started training, his dog attacked his girlfriend's dog,
Yeah.
got his eyeball, or whatever, didn't call her,
Yeah.
and the person called him out. And he was like, he's like, man, I wanted to like,
Yeah.
but I did it.
Yeah.
He's like, I just thought to myself, I'm using this because my dog took out my girlfriend's dog eyeball,
Right.
and my dog has been so much better
Yeah.
because of it. And I go, that's all you need for it.
yeah.
Right?
I've seen Such improvements.
Yeah. No, he was a great dog. He was the standard, like, there's no homelessness.
Exactly.
And I tell you, dogs fight each other. Like
Yeah.
this, you know, I'm thankful that I have this here just because it's so, like, I people, this is a dog fight.
Okay.
And I go, the dog is the one going to tell.
Okay.
And like, super mundane reason.
Yeah.
It's tensive.
Yeah.
Right? And they're like, really, yeah, that's dog.
Yeah.
Right? So here, this would never match the damage of a dog bite.
Right.
Right? But in the case of an emergency, you have control.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people don't think about.
Yeah.
They live life as if nothing bad ever happened.
Right.
But things do.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
Mm.
But if you always need more support, we're
No.
here. If it does happen.
It was one time,
Yeah.
but I was just curious.
And I've had people that just shrug. Like, I remember somebody asked the client, like, oh, is that a GPS? And they're like, yeah. It's like, whatever. Like, I'm not going to explain it to you.
We still go back to dog park with it on.
Yeah.
Actually, we don't go to the dog park without it anymore because I don't feel
It's very
comfortable
controlled. Yeah.
going without it with him.
And I think I may have mentioned this during the cross, but I told people, you know, you drive, right?
Yeah.
And then I asked, like, do you go the speed limit? And almost everybody says no.
No.
Right?
Yeah.
I think because it's opportunistic
Yeah.
for a dog.
Yeah.
So the moment you go there without it,
Yeah.
he knows, hey, that cop's not here.
Right.
I'm
I
going
can-
to put
yeah.
boundaries.
Yeah.
So if people don't even do as well as they think dogs should,
Right.
I don't understand why they expect dogs.
Right,
You know, we're supposed to be like, be smart.
Yeah,
species,
right.
So, yeah, so at the end of the day, that's why I look at it.
Nice.
Otherwise, it was a pleasure, Lindsay.
Yes, thank you
Thank
so
you so
much.
much for coming back.
Oh,
It was good to see Bailey again.
I don't know the next time we'll be back, but I'll let you know if we're
Yeah,
back.
for sure, he's always welcome, you know, for boarding and stuff.
Yeah, if you have room.
Yeah.
Thank
Anything
you.
else?
Nope. I'll follow up with just the places that I find, or if you have
Oh, yeah, for sure.
recommendations, I'll email you and then.
Yeah, for
To
sure.
schedule
Always
a
happy
Zoom.
to help.
Okay.
You always have technical support. Always.
Okay.
Okay. I have
Okay.
clients that move to like Kansas or Arkansas,
Yeah.
I get them confused.
Yeah,
And I trained their dog like 5 years ago.
yeah,
And they got a new dog.
Uh-huh.
And they text me like, hey Jesse, we're having these issues.
yeah,
And I just text them like,
Okay.
this is what I would do.
Okay.
And then 2.5 weeks later, they're like, Jesse, we're getting along great.
Okay.
Our dog's anxiety stopped, all
Okay.
that stuff. Thank you. Like,
Okay,
yeah, always
perfect.
around to help.
okay,
Okay.
wonderful, I love it.
So, any questions, big or small, you just shoot us a message or shoot me an email,
Uh-huh.
and we'll take care of you, okay?
Okay, release.
Now,